if I may, it seems like there's almost a false equivalence being brought here by the mayor. Where do you think she got this from?
You'll have to ask the mayor that question. I'm not sure I can answer that for her, but to me, there is no moral equivalence between the democratic state of Israel and the terrorists of Hamas that tyrannize their own people.
Gondek was right here. What would you say to her?
I would ask her to really, understand what's going on and also to appreciate, the history of this event and how, again, this is exactly how it's been since I was a kid. And I feel like it's been politicized to us, not that we've politicized.
Personally, I think to problematize that supporting Israel shows a lack of understanding of the holiday itself.
Sydney Vizard for Rebel News, and today we are at the Calgary Community Menorah Lighting, the 35th anniversary of this event. But something unfortunate has happened earlier today. That is, the mayor, Calgary Mayor Jyoti Gondek, has decided to add an awkward political tint to what should have been a normal Jewish holiday. In remarks on Twitter, Calgary Mayor Jyoti Gondek condemned this menorah lighting celebration as being political. It, quote, has been repositioned as an event to support Israel. It was to bring traditional greetings celebrating Hanukkah and the spirit of Calgary's Jewish community. This last-minute change goes against the original intention. This change makes it impossible for me to attend, end quote. I strongly encourage you to read her full statement and consider over the past few years how she describes a division between politics and religion, and consider over the past few years her approach on the arrests of pastors in Calgary for violating COVID rules, and her silence when churches in Alberta become the targets of arsonists. Mayor Gondek ended her statement by saying, quote, "My heart remains with the Jewish and Palestinian Calgarians who continue to mourn the loss of loved ones." She followed up with a tweet of the, quote, change, which was the following poster. Jyoti faced an onslaught of criticism from many Canadian politicians for her weird political messaging. Jewish community leaders in Calgary responded with the following, quote, "As always, and particularly at this time, our community does not waver in our support of Israel, nor will our community forget that 140 Israeli hostages still remain in captivity. Our yearning for peace in Israel and Gaza does not run counter to our support of Eretz Israel, but rather are inextricably linked," end quote. This is an event that all of Calgary's mayors have attended since it began, and for the Jewish community, which came in massive numbers this year, is an annual religious holiday celebration, taking place exactly 2 months after the horrific Hamas attacks in Israel. To see more of our coverage, go to deporthamas.com.
This is the menorah lighting on the first day of Hanukkah here at the Calgary City Hall.
Is this a political event?
No.
You heard about Calgary Mayor's remarks today, and obviously she's not attending. Well, what does that situation make you feel like?
It was interesting, kind of hearing that she decided not to attend because she thought it was a political event, and it was just kind of overwhelms the fact that she doesn't support Calgary and the citizens of Calgary. It's kind of what my initial thought was when she decided not to come.
Mayor Gondek says supporting Israel against Hamas is, quote, taking sides, and she won't do it. Do you think it's appropriate for a Canadian leader to be neutral as between a democratic country and a terrorist group?
I'm very disappointed in the mayor's decision. I think it was ill-advised. This event has been held for the past 35 years. Every mayor's attended. It's been the same agenda every year. So in my estimation, like I said, this is not political, and now it has been made political, and that's very unfortunate.
I've come to this event since I was a kid and was on the stage singing, and this is just like every other year where we celebrate Hanukkah and we celebrate being Jewish.
Now, have you heard of the comments from the mayor today? She decided she wasn't going to come. What does that make you feel, her reaction to this event?
I'm pretty hurt. I think, it's breaking a tradition that, again, hasn't changed on our side at all. So, I'm saddened by it.
Why do you think she took these steps that she did?
I know.
You know?
Yeah, because apparently she saw a poster saying that it supports Israel.
Yeah, so Hanukkah basically represent the victory of the Jews over the Greeks and basically saving the Holy Temple. And today, Hanukkah basically lasts for 8 days. Every day we add one more candle. So today is the first candle of Hanukkah.
It shows me that maybe she hasn't sadly understood the link between how anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. Hanukkah, as a story a millennia old, tells a story of ancient Jewish legitimacy in the city of Jerusalem, the Second Temple with which Judah and the Maccabees rebuilt and rededicated. It's a story of hope over darkness, hope over fear, and light over darkness over the ages. I'm sad that the mayor didn't understand the basic principles of how core Jewish identity is, not just to the land from where they are indigenous, but to the faith that they express. So it was a tragedy of an epic proportion that the mayor failed to stand by a community that is under so much pain in 2 very long months, at a time in which they need to see their elected leaders with them. And so I'm happy to represent my colleagues. I'm happy to be here today and to tell this community that they have friends and allies that will be with them through thick and through thin.
Personally, I think to problematize that supporting Israel shows a lack of understanding of the holiday itself. I'm actually not Jewish, and I've only been learning about the Jewish faith, and like Israel is pretty central, I think, for a lot of Jewish people. So for her to problematize like that politically, I think is kind of disappointing.
And how does it feel to be someone in the mayor's office? This is not just, Jody Gondek person down the street. This is the mayor. How does that make you feel?
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of, supposed to be the person that's leading the city of Calgary, right? Supposed to be the one that we look to for leadership on, all things good for the city, right? And a little disappointing.
And if I could ask you, why do you think she did it?
Well, great question. If we truly knew it, definitely have it. But yeah, I don't know. I think she just felt it was a political event over what it truly is, just a celebration.
Given the extreme Hamas hate marches in recent weeks that Calgary police have allowed, are you surprised by Gondek's actions today?
Oh, totally surprised. A little upset. But more than that, not what I am, the Jewish community itself. They're upset, they're angered, they're hurt. I have many members in my community, in my ward, that have relatives that have been killed, kidnapped, and they also, as well as the whole Jewish community, are feeling a little bit hurt.
Israel's part of Judaism. This is a celebration of light and of rededication of the temple, and so to me it's not a political thing. It's about celebrating Judaism and being a Jew in Canada.
To be honest, this is shameful that she's not here. I read the letter, and she said that she don't want to take any sides. I don't know how you can not take any sides when there is one side that literally say that Israel should not exist. We are tired to justify our right to exist.
Well, and likewise, the mayor of Calgary is supposed to be a representative of Calgarians. Do you think she's doing a good job at that today?
I think today she decided to turn her back on a community of people who constitute 67% of hate crimes in Canada today are on 2% of our people, of our treasured Jewish communities. This is the time in which you need to stand strong against bullies and those who intimidate them. As mobs roam our streets and hearts turn to darkness, this is a time for leaders to step forward with conviction and with courage to protect those who are being attacked. And I think that this was a sad moment for Calgary today, that the mayor wasn't here to commemorate Hanukkah. It's such a beautiful celebration with beautiful children doing amazing things. It's a real tragedy.
What is this event?
It's a celebration of the Jewish community here in Calgary, celebrating, Hanukkah and everything that is and what it stands for them. It's just all about unity, in my opinion. So,
is this a numbers game trying to get votes, or is she trying to stick to some kind of morals here?
Oh, your guess is as good as mine on that one. Again, I just think it was an ill-advised decision.
We've also seen in the city demonstrations that are very pro-Hamas in a violent way almost. Are you surprised by the mayor's reaction today, given that the police haven't really been stopping these demonstrations?
Yeah, I am. I think it's. I don't really know why. We're okay with hostages still being held by Hamas, and just want to walk away from that when we know that there's terrible things happening to them.
I actually had a conversation with the police. I had a few conversations also with the representative from the city. They said this is freedom of speech. And this same shame as all the universities in the U.S. They say, yeah, it's freedom of speech when they say from the river to the sea. It's freedom of speech when they call for the destruction of Israel. It's freedom of speech when they call for intifada. This is unacceptable, but not surprising. Not surprising. They just don't want to take stand, and yeah, but we're used to it. This is not at all surprise. The Jews have learned from history that we have to rely on ourselves.
And if I may, it seems like there's almost a false equivalence being brought here by the mayor. Where do you think she got this from?
You'll have to ask the mayor that question. I'm not sure I can answer that for her, but to me, there is no moral equivalence between the democratic state of Israel and the terrorists of Hamas that tyrannize their own people. There is no equivalence between the most professional militaries in the world that goes out of their way to defend against civilian deaths and a terrorist group that uses civilians to protect their own military ambitions. So I'm heartbroken that this equivalence is in the mayor's heart, and I'm hopeful that she can rediscover what is true and what is right yet again.
Gondek was right here. What would you say to her?
I would ask her to really, understand what's going on and also to appreciate, the history of this event and how, again, this is exactly how it's been since I was a kid. And I feel like it's been politicized to us, not that we've politicized.
For this holiday, do you think that Mayor Jody Gondek's, her remarks have actually made it somehow political this year because of that?
It shouldn't be political. It should be a celebration. It should be a festival of light. It should be this whole holiday represent that in the past people tried to kill the Jews and we survived. And the same thing happens today. One of the slogans or one of the main sentences for this holiday is "We cast away the darkness with light. We bring light and cast away the darkness," which it's very symbolic to what's happening right now.
City Hall is at the heart of our city life. This is an amazing city. It's the greatest city in the entire country by far. I'm proud to be one of the voices for it in our national parliament. And here we have in our city a menorah commemorating a millennia-old tradition of Hanukkah itself. This is a modern city with an ancient story to tell in a country that embraces pluralism and freedom, a freedom of religion. And this is an ideal worth defending in this city hall, and in every street, in every corner, everywhere around the country.
Do you think that with the stance that the mayor of Calgary has taken today, that she's doing a good job of representing Calgarians?
She's doing a good job of representing the pro-Palestinian. She's doing a good job representing pro-Hamas. And make no mistake, we have no issues with Palestinians. We have no issues with Muslims. We have no issues with Arabs or any other religion. We do have problem with people bluntly call to the destruction of Israel, to the genocide of the entire population of Israel. And the fact that the mayor is not here to say loudly that Israel has the right to exist is shameful and it's a disgrace.
To see more of our coverage on this important story, go to CanadaStanceWithIsrael.com.